All right, this last news story. This is an unprecedented event. 2 weeks in a row, we're getting the Kojima Corner. That is right. We are back with another episode of Kojima Corner, an episode, a podcast within a podcast here at Super Gamer Boys. And this week on Kojima Corner, we're going to be talking about how Kojima Productions and A24 team up to adapt Death Stranding. Ooh. A24, the studio behind Academy Award-winning films such as Everything Everywhere All at Once, has announced a collaboration with Kojima Productions to adapt Hideo Kojima's acclaimed video game, Death Stranding, into a live-action feature film. The announcement comes ahead of Kojima Productions' 8th anniversary on December 16th, marking a new milestone in video game to film adaptations. The film promises to delve into the mysteries surrounding the apocalyptic event called the Death Stranding, which blurred the lines between life and death and brought forth nightmarish creatures into a world on the brink of collapse. Hailed as the architect of the stealth genre and a pioneer in interactive storytelling, Hideo Kojima continually shifts the boundaries between film and game, widely considered the father of the stealth genre. What I love is this is a blog article from their website. Like, it's so just like self-congratulatory. Like, this is like, oh, we get it. I bet you Kojima wrote this himself. Widely considered the father of the stealth genre, he is also credited with innovating both storytelling and cinematic presentation in video games at large. In 2020, Hideo Kojima received the BAFTA Fellowship, the highest accolade bestowed by BAFTA upon an individual in recognition of exceptional contribution to film, games, or television. Hideo Kojima says A24 was born into this world about 10 years ago. Their presence is singular within the industry. They are like no other. The films they are delivering to the world are high in quality and very innovative. I have been attracted to their creations, and they have even inspired my own work. Their innovative approach to storytelling aligns with what Kojima Productions has been doing for the last 8 years. Now we are making a Death Stranding movie together. There are a lot of game adaptation films out there, but what we are creating is not just a direct translation of the game. The intention is that our audience will not only be fans of the games, but our film will be for anyone who loves cinema. We are creating a Death Stranding universe that has never been seen before, achievable only through the medium of film. It will be born. I don't know what that means, but all right. About A24. A24 is a global entertainment company. We all know who A24 is. They make movies, including Hereditary, Moonlight, Lady Bird, Uncut Gems, Spring Breakers, and 30-plus TV shows, including award-winning series Euphoria and Golden Globe-winning series Raimi. So yes, they're teaming up with some big dogs in the film industry to make a Death Stranding movie. Let me tell you, I'm real excited. I'm real stoked. I'm feeling really good.
How stoked are you?
I mean, we knew a Death Stranding movie was coming because what was that, like a year or two ago? They opened the LA branch of Kojima Productions,
right,
with the intention of focusing just on film. Like that was like there wouldn't be game developing happening in LA. It was designed for film stuff, but we haven't heard anything since then. So this is huge. So Kojima Productions is now teaming up with A24 to make something. And yeah, I am stoked out of my mind. I've been waiting. Lord, just please give me some Death Stranding movies. I need some more Death Stranding in my life. And
he's like, dude, you have it on your PC, you have it on your PlayStation,
you have it on every console known to man, dude.
You're ready to put it on your phone.
Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? I'm just blinded to it now. So yeah, I'm super excited. Now I'm going to be honest. A24, I know the name and I know the prestige that goes with it. I've actually probably seen very few of their films. Like I think. Like just the ones that are listed here in the list. The only one that I've watched out of these on this list was Uncut Gems, which I only just watched like a week or two ago, which is wild to me because I know all these movies. Like reading through this list, I'm like, oh yeah, like these are like incredible movies that have won so many awards. Like how have I not watched them yet? So now it's like the same thing I did with Jordan Peele last week, where I watched through every movie he's made. I watched Get Out and I watched Us and Nope. I'm going to start the same thing with A24. I'm going to start going through their hits because I got to get ready. Got to get ready for Death Stranding, you know? Got to get in the mood. What's A24's vibe here?
So I mean, A24 rarely, if ever, misses. So if anybody was going to help him, right? If anybody was going to help Kojima to make this a reality, it was going to be them. However, A24 is also not known for super high budget, super big films, which Death Stranding would need to be, unless if the movie was focusing, like, let's say the movie was about Sam and he has to get from one town to another, and the in-game time for it would take like an hour,
Yeah.
That would be an interesting movie because you could have him interact with the world and whatever, but I don't know. Anything bigger than that, and A24 is going to be like, yo, dog, we're not Marvel. We don't do that.
I mean, it'll be... What's also interesting is because it's supposed to touch on... And the reason I bring this up, because Yoga Archangel in the chat says Norman Reedus or bust. What's interesting is, based off of at least this blog post here, it's not going to include the current characters. Like there's another interview, I read it in another article. Basically it said, like, this isn't just, I mean, I guess it says it here too in this blog post, but they're not rehashing the original story. Like, they're building out basically a Death Stranding extended universe. This is like their DCEU, DSEU. It's according to this blog post, it seems to point at, it's going to show like the start of the Death Stranding, what kind of kicked it off, which might include some of the same characters, but not all of them, I assume. Like, it's going to have...
You'd have to be a maniac to think Norman Reedus doesn't at least have a cameo in this series.
I don't know.
As Sam.
I don't know. Like, if it's towards the beginning, like, technically, well... So he... spoilers for Death Stranding, I guess. He's technically is the start of the Death Stranding, but it's when he's a baby. Like, not as Norman Reedus, it's him as a baby. So that's why I'm like, oh, okay. Like, his character will be in it, but it's when he's a little guy. Like, it's not when he's full grown Norman Reedus. So, I don't know. I'm just so excited though. I'm so happy for this. One thing that I was kind of bummed about, because again, if it's talking about the beginning of Death Stranding, you would think, because in the flashbacks, they do have flashbacks in Death Stranding. Die Hardman is a kind of a part of, he's there at the beginning to a certain extent. But on Twitter, what's the voice actor's name that does him? He came out and said, he's like, at this point, like, I've not been approached about doing this. He's like, I would love to do it if I got a part, but at this point, like, because people were asking, like, oh, people were doing fan cast, and what's I mean, it was a meme because people were like fan casting, oh, Norman Reedus should play Sam and blah blah blah, like James Earl Jenkins, that's his name, James Earl Jenkins should play Die Hardman, and it's like ha ha ha, and he's like, oh yeah, that's good, that's funny, but at this point I haven't been talked to. So granted, it's still super early on, they only just signed on with A24, but I don't know, it'd be weird like to recast people. But Kojima's done it before with Big Boss and pulling Kiefer Sutherland in instead of keeping David Hayter. So, I mean, it's not the first time he recast a main character of a game.
I always wonder what his reasoning was for that. I feel like it was probably it was a fallout with David, had to be, right?
My two theories are either, because again, his dream was always to work with big Hollywood stars, which is very apparent with Death Stranding. Obviously, he just and even before that with PT. PT was like Guillermo del Toro, Norman Reedus, blah, blah, blah. And with Death Stranding, it's like, oh, he always wanted to work with Hollywood. So my one theory is like, I think he just finally had the budget to get a Hollywood actor, so he just went for it. My second theory, though, is giving him the benefit of the doubt that he's not just, wanting to hang out with cool people and screwed over David Hayter, but more so, I guess spoilers for Metal Gear Solid 5, a storytelling thing, because technically you're not playing as Big Boss. You're playing as a guy pretending to be Big Boss, but you don't find that out till the end of the game or whatever. So like in my head, I'm like, oh, that could like, I could see him being kind of cheeky with it and being like, oh yeah, like I recast Big Boss's voice actor, wink, and really it's like, oh, it's because it's not actually Big Boss. It's why it's a different voice actor or something like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's probably more the first one where he just wanted to hang out with cool Hollywood actors, you know. That was his first taste in it. But I don't know. We'll never know. I hope it's not a falling out between him and David, because I don't know. I'd love to see David Hayter in another project with Kojima. Like, it'd be great.
Not mad at it. Wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah. But yeah, so stay tuned. I'm sure we'll be talking about that as much as possible. Even though it's not a video game, I make exceptions for movies when it's about good video games, you know? Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.